When I say koala, you say gang. Koala, when I say koala, you say. When I say koala, you say gang. Koala, koala. When I say koala, you say gang. Koala, koala. When you don't like, just say yeah. Just say en la pista, dejen pasar el artista. One more track of the Koala Gang en la lista. En el pedo no soy un chimo que se alista. Canción tras canción, la misma meta a la vista. Les duele el colon como día de la conquista. No mumble, I want that shit since go tequila. Bring me Jimmy Finger. Baguette of roast beef en la mesa. Jump like a froggy in your porridge tassa. Starting Disney, yeah, some finest ganga. Don't mock my accent, brother. It's feeling with cheese like Ramon, you gotta know. If I'm coming back, fuck everything like the governor. C'est Peter, you know, I don't choose Twitter or rather. I prefer listen my bro flying, not all that Moscow, this shit maker. The world fit better when I come like a peacemaker. To make some connection between beat maker. I just studied, I said that, but the clock not let me. On this game, I'm my worst enemy. Let the crew push me to not stop with some support. Shout out to all the helpers who say my ass on the body port. Season 3 and reloaded like another Glock. Reloaded like another Glock. When I say koala, you say yeah. Koala, koala. When I say koala, you say yeah. Koala, koala. If you don't like, just say fam, just say fam, just say fam. Remy MC, Jimmy Finger, oh yeah, la crème de la crème.
Hello and welcome to the Beatcast. It's not one. Oh, it is 109. The intro was wrong. I'm joined by the wonderful co-host, Mr. Michael Gerbaby Gerber. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Danny?
I'm not too bad. Just trying to flap about and figure all this out. You know, make sure that we got all this going. People seem to be seeing us. I guess they can hear us too. They're saying hi, guys. Hey, Rushi, Mark, Cody, Potato, loads of people.
Do we want to talk about the format of the show?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay. But first, I just wanted to see if you had anything to say about the new release that we had this week. The EQ update to Koala happened since last week, so I'm really hoping that the mixes aren't considerably worse because people have the power
than other people, I think.
Yeah, I know. I got into a lot of trouble on Facebook by just suggesting that people shouldn't be just like boosting their 80k and lower by 12 dBs.
People are going to make mistakes, but like I made all of those mistakes when I submitted songs to the Beatcast all the time. The first few months, I would say, I was just trying to figure out what's the right level. How do I get the right level? How do you what are harsh frequencies? How do I stop frequencies from overlapping? So I think that's all just regular learning. I mean,
I think he just got upset. I guess he was just being sensitive. To be fair, though, I did apologize to him. It wasn't even directed to him, and it wasn't a criticism of his music. But I just decided to give everyone a warning. I dropped a Gerber on his ass, and I
don't know. I think
it is what it is. But anyway, we're enjoying the. I haven't said knob yet. DJ Husser says. Damien said if I had a haircut, I got rid of the koala for tonight. Gerber is very excited. But yeah, the EQ thing, awesome, right?
Yeah, no, I totally love it. And, you know, I thought I was going to use it a ton for my songs this week, but I ended up not doing it.
Right.
And I mean, I probably changed one or two pads maybe, but I'm already seeing the benefit of having it. It makes less work for me later when I get into AUM, and so
Yeah.
even though I don't need it, I still see benefits to it. You know what I mean?
I didn't think I'd need it anywhere near as much as I have been using it. Just like being able to just shape stuff off. And I know that Marek has mentioned that he's going to work on adapting the shelves, that if you pull them to extremes, they'll actually become cuts, which will be awesome. But yeah, I mean, even just very subtle shaping goes a long way, but also it means that you can just like get rid of a lot of stuff.
The other
out of
thing
the way.
I'm noticing is that and it's probably the thing I was very short-sighted about it when I first heard about the EQ was I was like, I can already EQ. Why do I care? And then I almost immediately realized that I should care because you can resample. As soon as people started doing like filter sweeps and like, look, you can do a filter sweep. Oh, it's not so good at filter sweep. But I was like, oh, wait, if I just record the pad, I have all new sound sculpting, capabilities to resample, and I can now make more sounds that I couldn't before. So I think I was being very, very short-sighted. I mean, it's really an enormous amount of new abilities for the app.
Well, it seems sort of utilitarian, but it actually is. It can be used as a creative tool, and not only that, you've got 3-point multi-touch, so you could actually like do this while resampling.
Like this, so I was leaving the middle and I was taking the high and the low and moving them in together. It was actually I was gonna recommend that because somebody said the filter sweeps aren't very extreme, and I was like, right, it matters what you do.
yeah, and also you can get the peaks going, like the resonances on the shelves peaking, and then
I of course was like, well, now I want to automate it, but it's like,
it is MIDI mappable.
I flipped it over. They're MIDI mappable.
They are, yeah, but I haven't tried it, and I expect that it will just.
I didn't see it in the.
I've not tried it, but Marek has said so.
Needs to explain that then, because.
Yeah. But the only thing is that I think it will only work the same as mapping anything on like a particular samples thing. It will only work on whatever the currently selected sample is, so you won't be able to lock. Just so everyone doesn't panic that we're talking too much, let's explain what's happening today. So, as you can tell, Michael and I like to talk quite a lot, but we've got quite a few submissions, and we thought we'd try a different format today, which is we're going to play roughly 10 tracks together and have an intermission. We have a special guest for our first intermission. And then we'll play another chunk of tracks, and we'll be a bit more relaxed about the chatting, but it also means that we can kind of play all the tracks in full and not kind of have to just cut people short or cut people off. So hopefully that works. We'll see how it goes, but it could be a good way to go. So don't panic. I know we're talking a lot, but then we're going to be shutting up for another 10 tracks. So we're going to do getting it all out of our system. Chunko tracks, trademark.
How long are we thinking the intermissions will be?
Well, they can start as long as we want, and then as the stream gets longer, we could actually just remove intermissions if we need to. So I don't think we need to worry too much, because there's not like, potentially 3, 4, 5 minutes of chat after every single 2-minute track. So I think it means that we can relax a bit.
How many submissions do we have so far?
Good question.
A lot.
I have 44 submissions currently, and I did get so actually, sorry, that includes 2 intermission videos that are just there for spacing. But I did get, just after we went live, I got one from Flying Zulu. I'll try and download that during one of the intermissions, because if I download anything while we're streaming, it just like
you can try it
messes everything up. What you've got a couple of minutes of chat on your own to do, or you want to just you can chat to our guest while I download during the first intermission. Probably it's not urgent to do it now.
So you let them know that we have a guest.
I have told them that we have a guest, but I haven't told them who it is. Do we want to tell them who it is?
No.
They'll have to wait. Well, our special guest will be following their submission in about 20 odd minutes. So shall we get on with it, is the question.
To me. Oh, I have one question before we jump in. I know I'm like jumping to the end of the show, but do we know what we're doing for the next sample for next week?
We do. It's the genre pick, and that's been voted on Discord, so we know what that's going to be. If
We'll
you
announce
want,
at the end, I guess.
we can announce it at the end, just so people stick around. If you don't want to stick around, you can go to Discord and check there. Cool.
So we'll post it on social media as well.
Say again, sorry?
We'll also post it on social media. Remy does a good job of going to all the social media and letting people know what the sample is, or in this case, the theme.
Cool. And we see a new Jez Mingshift has joined us on the chat, and
awesome.
There's been a lot of speculation that he might be one of the guys we know.
I speculated.
You've been speculating.
I
think he's
one of us.
I think he's a genuine new guy.
Love
so
it. That's awesome.
So that's even better. Jez, in the second intermission, if you're still around, I don't know what part of the world you're in, but you're welcome to come and join us and let us know who you are. Yeah. Otherwise, let's get on with the show, I suppose, and hope that it's all goes smoothly. If not, I might have to come back and mess with stuff, but it should be all right.
I'm gonna take some notes. I don't know if we're to a point where we're like talking about tracks, but I feel like the one fear I had of this format was that if we're talking about tracks on air, then are we going to talk about some and not others, and then people are going to feel like left out? So I kind of I wasn't sure how that's going to play out.
Right notes. I haven't got a bit of paper, so I'll try and get one while things are playing, but that means I'm going to miss some songs. I think it's fair enough just to, if you have some real highlights, you can mention it. I don't think that anyone should feel bad that we're not necessarily mentioning everything about every track, but it does mean people can sort of push to have something for someone to talk about next time.
This is a good point. I know sometimes we get really chatty on the Twitch chat, and it just becomes a social hi and bye and everything. But if we're not going to be talking about the tracks and giving people feedback on air, I do recommend that people take a moment at least to say something about the track. Because I think the chat now becomes much more important for people who do want feedback. You know what I mean? So I would highly encourage people who are on Twitch to just throw out some comments. And if you don't, there's always the YouTube submission video where you could throw on some feedback. I would recommend that.
Well, do that too. Yeah, but But yeah, I think what we'll probably end up doing while we're listening is giving our feedback during chat as well. So it means that we don't necessarily have to go over. But if anything especially amazing pops up that you want to talk about, then we can talk about it. And then everyone's getting their feedback either in chat or in person.
That's right.
So without further ado, let's see if I can get this playing, and we'll be back in about 20-ish minutes.
Awesome. There's some dead air. Hi. While we wait for Danny. Definitely.
I'm coming. It's all right. It's just I just need to press the transition button, and then
I was going to say stream a little slow too to stream it. So there we go.
We've had our first fail. The video's not playing. Hang on, you're muted and the video's not playing. This is going well, isn't it? Right, hang on. I'll go to... I don't know. Let's see. It's not playing. Let's see. No, I'm going to have to...
I hear it, Danny.
Yeah, the music's playing, but the video is not playing. So I'm just going to restart VLC, which means all my pre-prep goes down the toilet.
You can't save the playlist? Save the playlist first.
Yeah, let me see if I can save the playlist. Save playlist to file. Okay, we're getting somewhere. All right, you talk for a minute.
Wow.
Sorry, guys.
Talk about the sample pack, I guess. Really enjoyed the sample pack. I thought it was really interesting. One of the things that I was having a conversation with earlier in the week was just that, whether I thought it was good or bad that it was a little more random. I felt it was a little more random this week. Like the sounds didn't naturally fit together, because I think I get really used to, I think we all get really used to like Hegren doing, 3 or 4 samples that all match and fit together seamlessly, like almost like the Worm project did. And I don't know about you guys, but I usually do go to the folder and I download something, one thing maybe, and then I'll attach mine to theirs. Like just, I kind of like that. I like having that. So in this case, this week, I felt like stuff didn't naturally connect, but I wasn't sure that was a bad thing, because I kind of feel like maybe it's too easy. I think it was maybe Benjamin who had said to me, like, it's really easy when we do the Worm. It's like too easy. Like you can just start and stop on anything.
I think from the perspective of the Worm, where it's actually was supposed to be all related, it does make it more tricky in to not just make everything fit and then just make a selection of stuff that fits. So it makes it kind of more tricky, but also kind of better in some ways. Right, let's go. I think it's going to play. Let's go.
We do inside my head. It's captivating. People can't see all the fun we have in the party of our lives. Nobody will hear about the party of the year. So nobody will show. And everyone is dancing, but we're not there, and we don't care. We got our own thing going. Nobody will hear about the party of the year, so nobody will show. Wallace, go!
Let's try this again. Hi there, my name is Ryan, aka Hussa, or DJ Hussa to some. I've heard your incredible music on YouTube and Instagram and thought I'd reach out to say what a great sound you have. Mad flavor, possibly, but thought maybe we could do something together. Just a thought. Thank you for your time, Mr. Zero.
I'm so sorry to hear about your koala.
Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Hi there, my name is Ryan. Hi there, my name is Ryan. Hussa. Hi there, my name is Ryan. Hussa. AKA Hussa, or DJ Hussa to some. Mr. Zero.
Hey guys, the video didn't play that time, unfortunately. So let me just see if I can get the videos working again.
Danny, I'm having a problem because it's driving me crazy. If my job is to handle the banner, but I don't know who the artist is, and I'm like,
Yeah, good point.
sitting here chatting.
Do you want to?
Who is this? Who is this? And you're not. I'm losing my
All right.
mind.
Well, it looks like we're having a quick intermission right now. Do you want to just let me know where I can change the banners myself?
Yeah, it's under banners, and you just find one that doesn't say ticker, and you click the pencil to edit it.
Okay, cool.
You save it, and then you show it.
Okay, cool. I got that. So it looks like what's happening is when an audio submission plays, it breaks the videos playing on the future submissions. So let me just see if I can move some audio somewhere else. And let's try the next one, which will be Mark Deluxe featuring Hussa. Hussa's been busy this week.
What was the last track?
It was D0 and Hussa.
Got it.
And I'm sorry, Joey, the video didn't play, but it'll be in the final submission. So I think it was a screen recording anyway, so I don't think there's anything too bad that we missed. But let's see if I double click this, will it play the video? Let's see. No, it won't. Hang on a sec. It's put it in a different window.
Thanks, Jason.
Stupid thing. Hang on. Right, let's see. So this might not be the best way to do things. It's right, hang on. So the visualizer is taking over the whole thing. Sorry, everyone. Oh, what's happening there? Yeah, so if you just bear with me a second. Come on, do a song and dance or something, Gerbo.
Well, I was reading the comments and Sample the World said the new format's not going all that well.
No, it isn't. I mean, I can go back. There's the list for you. I can go to.
You can send me that screenshot if that'll help. But
no, so I'm trying to find where the goddamn video window is. Way.
PG-13 broadcast.
Right. Let me just. I'll close. What I'm going to have to probably do is close VLC. Let me just put my video on for a second so you can see me struggle on video, because that's my punishment for trying to be smart.
Thanks, Pete.
So what I'm going to do is restart. I'm going to probably have to move all of the audio submissions so they're in a group.
Yeah, we'll do it one whole chunk of just the audio submissions.
Yeah, that might actually work better. So if you just bear with me for a second, let me close this all out. Close that. Discard. See, this is why it's good to have an extra guest for these sorts of things to happen.
Totally.
So why don't you talk?
Supposed to be filling the dead air, I think, right?
You fill the dead air. I'm filling dead air with like, okay, now I'm struggling to get this and that working.
Entertaining, but yeah, sure.
Right, hang on. Nah, it's decided for some reason to put the video in a completely separate window, and that's not working.
Do you happen to know if we got Clayton's submission? Clayton Von.
We didn't, I don't think.
Wait, we didn't? I thought we did. Shoot.
I'm not sure. I don't think we did. Maybe what I'll actually do is just burn the whole thing down and go back to the old way of doing things, which might be better. So, let's see if that works. And I'll come in with... What did we get to? Oh, the list is completely different.
We got to D0, but you could remove the few that you've already done. There weren't that many, if that helps.
Yes. So what I'll do...
Ayal and 0.
No, it's fine. It's fine. The list is fine. It's just that because it was shuffled in VLC, it's all out of order on my folder. So I'm just going to come back in with something different, and we'll come back to it was Husser and Mark Deluxe. We'll come back to that one. I'll just play Kubi Boom Clap while I figure out what to do next.
And now I'm gonna roll a big phone. I'm gonna throw some THC diamonds in there. Now I'm gonna get big. Drop.
1. When I came out of the moon, out of the hole, that's out of my soul. It's out of control. It's my soul. This is my tone, my microphone. I'm in my home. I'm all alone. A dog without a bone, but I'm okay. So I'm me, and I gotta keep it free, and I gotta let me be, and I gonna let me see. 4, 3, 2. Yeah. Come on, let's go faster. Yeah. Come on. Switch it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is how I gotta get on that mind. I wrote this shit forever, my Rick. This is the unofficial, rhyming up. Man, listen, I spit it, I did it because came with the style, what I do, what they know what this music is fluid. Listen, I spit it, I keep it, I go, and I have to be moving my thinking they taking me, never listen, I be coming remotely from this. On that man, so much, hit it with style in my rhyming.
Back out. Back out. Back out. Back out. Back out.
4, 3, 2.
Five, four, three, two.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
I also had a short conversation with Vanna Scampi about melodies. I asked him, can you please tell me how you improvise your melodies? And he suggested a trick that I never thought of. That when you play the chords of the song that you want to sing along to, you need to just chillax and whistle and whistle and whistle and chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax.
Daddy, chill. Daddy, chill. What the hell is even that? Hell is even that? Hell is even that? Hell is even that?
In the beginning there was darkness, then came light. I grabbed the mic, then dish your ass just for spite. What? You can't fuck with the flows I bring. Watch the staff I swing. It's Timbo King, astonishing, I'm dramatic to the ear. Television tells lies to your vision, so beware of the trick. Knowledge set forth to fool the mind. If you're dumb, you're lost. If you're wise, you will find that poison is a devil substance made from scratch. Cause one rotten apple destroys the whole batch. You scratch, I throw jabs to your jaw so quick. You get bashed in the head with a stone-faced brick. With thick like molasses, deeper than the earth's mantle. Will you take over, stampede, trample those who force teeth, tell lies to the youth. I branch out, my roots run deep, here's proof.
À 17 ans, je me suis fait une raison. J'étais un petit con, un nerveux spasme, mon fil de baston. Et je frappais un coup de pied dans la table tout volé. Envenimé par la négativité. Tant d'échecs, tant de défaites ont forgé le mordant pour encaisser les coups à ma mentalité. Fauché sans occupation, il n'y a pas pire. Je ne possédais rien et je voulais devenir un homme. J'ai insisté et le groupe païen m'a existé. Pour de bon, j'étais sincère, j'écris les vers pour mes pères. Et il n'y a que qui flippe derrière de l'attention, ils se foutaient. Donc j'ai roulé pour m'avoir comme le gaz. Les intouchables faces de mes phrases. J'ai même changé d'avis pour la saga. C'est plus j'y revenais quand tu allais, j'y retournais.
I am sons of man from the royal fam. Never ate ham, never gave a damn.
Welcome back. Let's see. We've got. Hopefully, you can hear me. Unmute Michael. You can hear Michael?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. And we're joined by Mr. Grimbakor.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, you don't have sunglasses on, and it's not so dark in your room anymore.
Hold on. I can fix the sunglasses.
Yeah. Do you say you didn't see that video until just now?
Yeah, I only knew that he was going to use the concept of my last week's video, and he said something about mirroring it, and that was the first time I saw it.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's when I saw that was the one. I saw the thumbnail for it, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great." So, welcome, Grimbakor. Do you want us to call you Grimbakor or Grim?
Grim is normally what I go by. It's just a lot easier to say. It's not Grim Baker. It's not Grim Baker.
Grim Baker.
Some people say Grim Baker. They're wrong.
the Grim Baker.
The Grim Baker.
He makes really sinister cupcakes.
You want to know what your actual real name is, or would you prefer we stick to Grimbakor?
I'll just stick to Grim. Yeah.
All right, no problem.
Fair enough. So, thank you for joining us.
Okay.
And you put out. Have you been making tutorial videos for a while? Because I hadn't seen them until you posted the one about the new EQ stuff.
So that was the first one I put out, and I put it out just because it just I make tutorials for a video game that I play a lot of on a different channel.
Which is
awesome.
It's called Battle for the Grid. It's a fighting game. It's a 3v3 fighting one.
Cool.
And I make a load of videos for that, and the EQ stuff came out, and I thought, well, I thought it'd be a good idea to put something out there to try and help other people create ideas from it.
Yeah. It's
so,
cool.
And I already know how to make videos, so it just seemed like a very natural thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's good, and it was a great presentation and well put together.
Thank you.
Michael, do you want to take over for a minute and have a little chat because I've got so much stuff behind the scenes. I've made a complete mess for myself. I've not kept track of what I've played and what I haven't, and it was a bit of an early clusterfuck, but I think we got it back on track. I hope everyone is all right with the format and everything. We've been about an hour. I don't know how long we spoke for in the beginning, probably 15 minutes. So it's been about an hour of music so far. And we've got a good chunk still to go. So I just need to sort out. I need to do some admin, back admin. So you take over for a minute. You guys chat until I come back and tell you can stop chatting.
So we usually like talk about the actual person's song. I really dug that. I've been loving what Sample the World's been doing, and the two of you combined was actually pretty cool because it sort of changed up his style quite a bit. And I love how at the very end you kind of it built to your style, which I thought was really very cool. Just well conceived. The video was awesome.
The video is by far the best part.
Oh, no, the music was definitely better than the video. So I'm going to disagree with you on that one.
It was very inspired. But no. So the actual track, the track itself, I went through the samples. I'm like, I'm not feeling any of these samples, as I normally do. Like, unless a song truly sings to me, like I really struggle with it. Apart from the Verve. The Verve one is a track that's like a childhood track, so it's really hard to work with because it's very plain.
Yeah,
it's a pop song, so I struggled with it all. But this week's samples, I kind of struggled with, like trying to think up ideas. I was playing around with some stuff, and I'm like, I could use this, and like throwing a load of my own samples. But I like to try and use as much of the sample as possible. I try to use 100% where possible.
So when I first started, I tried to use as much of the sample as possible, and so I used to do stems, and I would try to like use the drums, and because I was struggling too, because I didn't know how to flip anything, right? And what I found was using as much of the sample as possible didn't actually work very well for me. Like I didn't really like, a lot of times I didn't like the song I made because the sounds, I limited myself to I thought, oh, this is great. I'm like using as much of the sample as possible. But what I came to find out was like, hey, sometimes like actually using real drums is better than using crappy stem drums and stuff like that. So, and it was funny because Danny was the one who said to me, he's like, Michael, this isn't a competition on the winner's the one who uses the most of the sample. And I was like, shut up. It doesn't matter. This is my aesthetic. Because I kind of just had a very similar feeling that you did. I wanted to use as much as possible, but I think once I finally just got over, like I just did it so many different ways that at a certain point I no longer think about that anymore. Like I tried as using as much of the sample as possible. I've even done the opposite, use as little of the sample as possible, where I used just a few hits and it made a great song. So now I'm just at the point where I just sort of, I don't worry about that so much, but I don't know.
So one of the reasons why I use as much of the sample as possible is because I load the song onto the app, and I don't have any other samples with me. So I just like when I'm creating ideas and stuff, I just like I already have the song, I already have parts of the song, so I just use the parts that are already there, and it just like at the end I might like add a bit of an 808 or something on there to like beef up the kick, or or you can always create sounds from other sounds, right? So it's mostly a convenience thing that is an aesthetic choice.
You're limited though to the sound shaping abilities of Koala, which I know people like Pete can push it way above and beyond, but for me I find that like limiting myself to only what's within Koala can be more time consuming, or like it might not always lead me to the place I want to go. You know what I mean? I don't have any problems doing it, but I do tend to like my personal style currently is to like just create whatever I can create in Koala, and then create a couple of sequences, and then just take it into AUM and see where I can go from there. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's what works for me. But tell me, how long you've been doing music and stuff like that. Like, how'd you find the group, and how'd you find Koala?
So I COVID happened, lockdown in the UK, 2020, and I between work, you're kind of stuck in your house, and I did a lot of hobbies that I couldn't do anymore. And so I started playing competitive fighting games online and stuff. But I needed something else. Like, I'm a creative person, and I've always had an instrument. So like when I was a teenager, I had a guitar, and then later on, I got a drum kit, and I just got interested in synths, and I started playing around with some like synths here and there, and they didn't really work well with me. They weren't the kind of style I was looking for, and I can't remember what it was.
Hardware synths or software synths?
Both.
Okay.
So I tried some DAW stuff, and the DAW stuff's really good because you got limitless potential. But the problem with it is that I like restraints.
Mm-hmm.
I like having like constraints and like my which forces me to be creative.
Yep.
And which goes hand in hand with my job as a programmer. And I think I was looking. I saw someone reviewing like an SP404.
Yep.
And just in one of the comments in the video, someone said, "Oh, you should do a review on like the Koala Sampler app." And I was like, "Well, not heard of that." Did a quick Google, saw what it was, and I was like, "Well, was it £4, something like that?"
Yep.
It's hard to go wrong compared to like £100 doors and £500, hardware synths. And I saw it and I was like, "Man, this is a really sick app. Like it's ridiculously good."
My story is talk about limitations. I started with a pocket operator. Are you familiar with that?
Yep, I have a PO33. That thing is nuts. I love that thing.
It is nuts, but it has so many limitations, and like 4 sounds at the same time is like very limited. You got some great drums going, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh wait, my drum actually knocks out my my melody," right?
But that's why you layer the drums with the drums.
If
so
you
half your kit is the drums with the hi-hat, and the other half of the kit's the drums without the hi-hat.
I suspect you have more musical background than me. So the idea of layering drums, like how I don't even know how I would go about doing that within the PO, because there's no like resample or anything. You've got to do it somewhere else, and then
you have to kind of sample it back into itself. It's quite fun. Yeah, it's a very weird limitation.
But my story is the same as yours, which is what I spent $79 or something like that on the PO, but everybody said Koala is amazing, and the difference between you and me is I went, "Oh, $4, that's way too much money." It actually took somebody telling me I had to spend $25 on myself and not knowing what to spend it on for me to finally. I've been lurking in the Koala Facebook group for like months, 3-4 months, and
really?
And finally it took somebody saying you have to spend $25 on yourself, and I'm like, okay, I'll get Koala. Okay, but what do I do with $21? So I'll
buy Samurai Mode.
I bought AUM at the same exact time. So I kind of I did get a good. I got really great advice from the Koala Facebook group, I have to say. Remy hooked me up, and a bunch of other people. I don't know if people know Lugo, but he helped me quite a bit as well.
Okay.
So, how long have you been doing music? Or did you already answer?
Yeah, it's kind of been on and off. Like I had a really weird relationship with playing the guitar when I was a kid, so I actually kind of stopped playing music.
Okay.
But like I've never stopped loving music, and like I kind of get it off both sides of my family. Like one side are like a bunch of pianists, and my other side are like drummers and guitarists, more rock side. So like I've got musical influences coming from every direction when I was growing up, and so it's like never left me. It's always been around. And in my adulthood, when you can afford to buy instruments, I was able to like get back into it at my own pace.
Awesome.
Do you still play instruments like in bands or anything, or?
No. So, well, yes, I do play, but not in bands. I never really enjoyed the whole band thing. I did it a couple of times live, and like, it's fun, but it's not something that I really liked committing to.
Yeah.
How did you find the collaboration compared to like being in a band, for instance? Like
the collaboration was different.
It always is. You know what? And you'll do it with somebody else, and it'll be completely different again. Every single time you do it, it's different. It's crazy. You can do it with the same person, and it's different.
Yeah, so like I got a message from Sampled World saying like, "Hey, I don't normally do this, but I made up this beat, and I think it could do with something else. I'm thinking maybe you can get some of your drums in there. If you're up for it, maybe I could just send it over." And he sent. I said, "Yeah, sure," because like I'm uninspired at the moment, so maybe I can get inspired.
Yeah.
So he sent it across, and I was like, I'm digging it, and it's quite slow. And I'm like, I have no idea how I'm going to put my stuff in here.
Well,
and there's an interesting problem with the actual project itself, is that it's in 77 beats per minute.
Mm-hmm. But that actually is convenient for your more drum and bass sort of style, because you double it up and you're at almost 150. I mean, it's getting there.
It's double it up, but in order to get the stutters and the kind of glitchy drums, I had to double the project up to 154 BPM, write my parts, render them, and then put the track back into half speed in order for it to fit into the track.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting problem. When I realized it, I'm like, oh god, I've got to do what?
It sounds great, man. Did you guys work mostly in Koala, or did you guys
100% in Koala as far as I'm aware?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I find that in our group, the collaborations very often work really well just by limiting myself to Koala, but I don't usually limit myself to Koala. I usually am working, in AUM, and so I find that works pretty well though when you're working in a collaboration.
I think just being able to share a single file was really easy, surprisingly easy.
Yeah, that makes a big difference, and especially like with Funk Moon Camp, we're just like sending files back and forth, sometimes 2 or 3 times in one evening. It depends on the time. Sometimes it's like no one does anything for a day or two, and other times it's like, in fact, like I think this week I added something, Campy added something, so I added something else, and then he added something else, and Damien was still asleep, and then he woke up the next day and like added some more stuff. So yeah, it makes life so much easier to collaborate, just being able to, because it just neatly packs all the samples in, and you can do so much inside Koala. I mean, the thing is that I'm like you, Mike. When I actually do my own stuff, I start in AUM actually, and I will always load Koala as my first thing that I load, pretty much. But I start there, and then it means that you've just got the freedom to go outside and then back in again. But if I need to, go on.
I like to start in standalone mode on Koala, even when I'm taking it into AUM. I just find
in case it crashes.
Not only crashes. I find that Koala in AUM is actually mostly stable for me. But
yeah, I've not had too much.
I can break stems apart. Sometimes just having the full screen and not honestly, the transport controls is probably the most annoying thing. How many times do I hit play and then I have to hit the error message to go away? Like 20 times, 30 times, 50 times.
You can turn that off. Turn sync off while you're not actually working in sync.
Turn sync off. I'll try it.
In Koala preferences, you can turn the AUV sync off, and then you can press play inside Koala. It just means they won't actually start AUM at the same time.
I still lose a little screen real estate, just a tiny bit of Chrome, that goes around the outside. So I usually just start in standalone, and it seems to work better for me. And then when I'm done in Koala, then I move into AUM.
I think Anna is hinting that I should start the music again by bringing me some lunch.
Well,
it's been like 15 minutes.
I was going to say, we're going to talk to the community and see if people like this format, but I like the idea of, getting a break from the music. We get to meet somebody new in the community, because honestly, I feel like our group, part of the reason why the Koala Beatcast is better than all the rest is because, in my opinion, it's personal. We get to know each other, and we learn about what makes us tick, and
we don't always learn each other's first names though. Hey Grim.
You don't have to give your first name, so don't listen.
I'm kidding. It's all good.
It's not important.
No, it's not.
And anyway, so thank you for joining us. I mean, I think it's really important. Like I was saying to Danny, there's a bunch of people in the group, and I actually don't know who they are yet, because it's hard to differentiate what people are typing with who they are and their personality. But now I have a much better sense of who you are, and when I see Grimbacor in the group, I'll be able to associate it with
picture you. Yeah, it's funny though, because sometimes new people come along, and then you just you start trying to sleuth which one of the old people is like moonlighting as the new person, which does happen as well. So that makes an interesting game.
Occasionally. Wait, this is a good time for us to say Ming Chef or whatever, who was in the chat.
He was.
we would love to meet you. So prove us all wrong that you're
if
not.
you want to come on later or some other time.
So yeah,
what I'm gonna do is play a string of audio only ones for a minute while I eat this sandwich, and when you start seeing videos come back, you'll know that I finished my sandwich.
All right, awesome.
How's that sound?
Grim McClure, you said you were going to drop off, right?
Yep, it's midnight now. I'm going to go back to just listening.
Well, thanks for staying up until now. Although, to be honest, we could have had you on earlier, but I guess you were enjoying the music too much. And,
the music is really
and
good.
The chat.
This week has been so good in terms of just the tunes I've heard so far.
Yeah.
We didn't get to talk. That was one of the things
we didn't talk about anything else, any other people's music, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about the samples and stuff and the sample choices this week, but we'll talk about it offline. But
we'll have another intermission in a bit, and we'll talk to Grim offline. Thank you for joining us, dude. It was
thank you for having
getting
us.
to know you.
It's been fun.
And keep them coming. The old YouTube tutorials.
I have a couple of ideas that I want to put up. It's just finding the time to do it.
Nice. All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us, and let me see if I can get us back on track without too much.
Enjoy the food.
Too much. Yeah, cheers, man. See ya.
I haven't had any food. I only had my breakfast, the cup of coffee. So I might try.
Smoking beaties till his brain's broken completely. Get back on his feet, work out, and eat some Wheaties. Greedy for the cheese, please, most couldn't fathom. Had him in the Cobra clutch when he spat the mad hidden gems. Collection of brats, Timbs and hats. Had no time for the pity pat, I'll give him that. The rhythm hit him back with a right hook. Shook it off, caught a sign, I thought it was a aight look. Depends on the shades, the end of days, spades. Pretenders late in daisies on stages. New melees, eat it up, microphone, microwave, mayonnaise. His own way was strange, but it matters not. Tuned into a frequency tone that shattered rock. Hold it down like Shatner do Spock. Rapper jocks need to put a sock in their chatterbox. The block got lied of IOT stock. Folks gather round, it's no joke like knock knock. It's them, they came home to roost, y'all, and watch them transform the game to the rules of foosball. She's too small. Any questions? Him could squeeze blood from a penny in a recession. Keep guessing, it gets deeper than depression. The power of suggestion, wake or sleep, repeat the lesson. Take that beat. Rip it with metal fingers and stomp to the big fat beat. You know what they say, cut the hay. Resistance is futile, you will be assimilated. But today, it's all gray. Metallic with a ruby stone. Move like the type of dude you could write a movie on. Hardcore porn, did his own stunts, rid his own lines, and split his own blunts once in a while. Every other minute, eyes pop out, Popeye heavy on the spinach. Steady on its business, and ready with an ill pitch. Keep the bad bills just like Danny Gruson.
Girl, it's too late. You gotta let go. Girl, it's too late. You gotta let go. You gotta let go.
voices, making bad choices. Better sit down, better do what drive says. Move to the back of the bus, you know there's no need to cuss, looking out the window, kinda bored. Next thing you know, who's getting on board? Well, the big heart, covered in lard, bodging about, caught each other off guard. You what, mate? What's going on, fellas? This don't look great. Things are heating up like a central heater. Need a big dude like Sasquatch Peter. Know what about? But a little old lady, a single mother and a howling baby. What am I gonna do? It's about to go down and I have no clue. Think you better duck, there's a rock on the bus. I don't wanna make a fuss, but I'm in the way. Think you better duck, there's a rock on the bus. I don't wanna make a fuss, but I'm not okay. Think you better duck, there's a rock on the bus. I don't wanna make a fuss, but I'm in the way. Think you better duck, there's a rock on the bus. I don't wanna make a fuss, but it's not okay. Slam goes one drunk into another. Pow, it's a punch, now it's time to take cover. As a bottle of beer smashes over his head. Should've got back on the bike instead, but the elderly lady stands up on the double, says, better watch out now, here comes trouble. Roundhouse kicks and a 1-2 spank. Looks like someone's gonna walk the plank. Didn't think the granny had ninja skills. Moving so fast like she's taking some pills. Single mom says you better just go. Turns out she's a black belt in Aikido. Now she's following those thugs over the shoulder. Now the baby's laughing as the mum gets bolder. Easily picks them up, don't you know? Throws them both out the bus window. Think you better duck, there's a rock on the bus. I don't wanna make a fuss, but I'm in the way. Think you better duck, there's a rock on the bus. I don't wanna make a fuss, but I'm not okay. Think you better duck, there's a rock on the bus. I don't wanna make a fuss, but I'm in the way. Think you better duck, there's a rock on the bus. I don't wanna make a fuss, but it's not okay.
Plugged in as nodes on the network, like leaves on a big tree. And we're all feeding this network. We're all collectively programming the AI and Google, and all the humans that connect to it are one giant cybernetic collective. This is also true of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. The giant cybernetic collective. Create a high bandwidth interface to the brain such that we can be symbiotic with AI.
Another week, another beat, another leap into the unknown. Tongue put deep in my cheek, another drunk poem. Fuck no sober but stout. I'm going down till I've brung those nostalgic teardrops. The glassy come home, plastic jumps so right to be stunned though. 100, jumbo mouse as tight as a bumhole. Sound shy when they mumble, talking to cuntles. You should be cautious and humble, but if you're longing to rumble, I'm all ears like Dumbo.
What if I told you that none of this is real? Wow. 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 What if I told you that none of this is real? Wow. What if I told you that none of this is real? Wow. Wow.
To my west side crew, get paper. To my south side crew, get paper. I tell the player, hey, see you later.
And we're back. Gerber.
Yeah.
Oh, I muted you, unmuted you, you unmuted yourself. And we're back. Sort of. Let's see. Here we go. Hey.
Hello.
Wow, that was a wild ride through audio only.
That was pretty crazy.
And I think a couple of tracks ago, the really long Corey Page track that went into what I thought was a Flying Zulu track that happened to use the same sample and went into it like almost perfectly. I've got a feeling that wasn't Flying Zulu, but I've got a feeling that I renamed someone's file to Flying Zulu, so I've got no way to even look it up.
Flying Zulu just jumped on the chat asking if we played his track yet. So, or if we received it.
I've got a video submission from Flying Zulu, so I don't know if that last audio, it's a mystery track. I don't know who it was. It was very good, but I don't know who it was.
Okay.
You're eating still. You've had like 30-40 minutes of like audio only playing while you're eating. Still eating.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm like doing the chat while.
Oh yeah, this is true. Yeah, well, I don't know if you noticed, but I was updating people's names while I
did
eating as well.
Thank you.
I'm going to send out an apology to Papa Loco. He's working and listening and was hoping to hear some chat between tracks, but there isn't any. We're just trying something different. There was always going to be a bit of a backlash, but we're at almost 2 hours now, and we haven't been chatting that much. I've still got quite a lot of video submissions to go through. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I said
10.
I said even no matter what, we were going to be at 2.5 hours. There was no way we were going to be under 2 hours.
No, yeah, I think it's easily going to break that.
So
11, 12. Hang on, getting there. I think that might be it. I think that we might have 12 submissions.
That's a lot. That's quite a bit to go still. And
yeah, and I'll play it as a big chunk once we get through this talky bit.
Yeah, so I mean, just speaking to what you said with William, I do feel bad because we made a last minute decision to switch format.
One second, Gerber, before you continue, can you make this a monologue and I'm going to drop off because I just got Grain's actual track. I'll hop off and download that while you talk on this.
So Danny did take some time today to make a little poll. It was very last minute to see if people were going to be cool with us switching up the format of the show. It was very last minute that Remy was unable to do the show this week. So, we're sort of just trying to adjust. But, this has been a long time coming in the regard that we've been trying to figure out ways to play everybody's music, get people the feedback that we want people to have, and not have the shows become 3 and 4 hours long. Sometimes we hit a 4-hour show and we end up with 7 or 8 people who can stand through that long of a show. And I'm not sure that's not fair to the people that are at the end of the show, if you think about it that way, right? That just random luck, the order of the songs came in, and some people don't get as much feedback. There may be
and to Remy and whoever's,
and it's not fair to Remy, and so some of the feedback we got last week on the chat was that they did actually like that we were trying to motor through a bit more of the songs, and so that kind of gave us the impetus, I think, this week for us to try this approach and see how it works. So I think we understand that not everybody's going to love a change, but not everybody loved the old way either. So there's
always going to be issues.
There'll always be somebody that doesn't love everything. And I think we have to figure out what's best for the group as a whole, not any one individual. So
yeah, I mean, I guess this is kind of like a halfway house between just having the archive, which is just like a back-to-back of everything that people can listen to, but also, without naming any names, I've been to other communities where I submitted, and on the 3rd or 4th week of submitting, my track didn't get played, and I just kind of like lost a bit of steam. I kind of thought, well, no one really knows me anyway, and I'm not really involved in this community, and my track's not been played, and it's kind of like, I can just not bother doing this. It's one less thing to do, and we don't want that to happen. We'd rather not cut people's tracks short, and we'd rather not play certain people's tracks just because we're doing it randomly. But, we're at two hours now, and we've really not been talking all that long. And I think it's great to be able to meet people from the community, like having Grim on earlier. Yep. And personally, I think that it might benefit from having different types of shows for different things, and whether this is a premiere. But then at the same time, I've had conversations with people who have said they might not bother submitting if it didn't stay how it was, to a certain extent. Like, just submitting to be put on a playlist isn't enough for some people. So I don't know.
I would speak to that. So I think everybody who's been on the Beatcast for many weeks can admit that it gets a little tiring to hear the same exact comments every single time. Remy's like, oh, that was fire. You killed it, right? And so it gets a little repetitive. And I've been on the show enough times to help co-host where I literally have to write down notes during the song, and I can't even really listen to the song because I'm trying to write down notes so I can repeat them back later. And so I'm not 100% sure that we're getting a huge amount of value from us talking on air about the songs. What I do think, and what I did mention at the beginning of the show, is the chat is actually where everything is at. When people should be giving feedback on the chat, and I really encourage people to talk about the music and not only talk about, hey, how was your week? But like, I love that song. These are the things I liked about it. And I understand that maybe William isn't on the chat right now and is only listening. So I can understand that maybe the format change is jarring, but I do think that there is an opportunity for us to still talk about the music and give the producers the encouragement that we hope that they were getting from You Killed It, right? On the chat, on the other.
Oh yeah, you did killed it. Yeah. We forgot to say
and
that.
Also we can, like I said earlier, please, I encourage you to also go onto YouTube to the submissions video and give feedback. I mean, that is another way for you to help people, and give them the feedback I think that maybe we think is missing on the show.
Yeah, I had something to say and I've completely blanked because it was. I think that, like, as an individual who submits a track, to wait for your track to be played and then get your little, minute of flowers is great, and that's the important thing to an individual submitter. But I think that's kind of what individuals might be listening out for, but from a presenting perspective, and no one will ever because we put out the archive, no one ever rewatches these live streams back. So it's kind of like a lot of work, especially we do this not that often, but Remy does it every week. He's got a baby at home and his wife, and for him to really take submissions through the show, change things, make it 3 hours, 4 hours, and try and find something. Sometimes you see that his energy starts to wane by the last hour, but he's still pushing through for everyone, which everyone appreciates. But still, the viewers drop off by the end, and it's kind of like, who's it for? Who's it really for at that point? So anyway, we continue to discuss it on the Discord in the community, how we can make things work for everybody, and how we can try and actually include some other types of shows, like whether it's more tutorial type stuff, whether it's more getting to know people from the community type stuff, and try and separate those things so we're not kind of cramming everything into this weekly 3 to 4 hour show. Thankfully we're actually going to be able to get this one probably under 3 hours if I can shut up, but yeah, we're shifting and trying to make it work for everyone, especially for Remy, who's having to cope with everything every week. So
I think we all agree. B Jammin just said it on the chat that exactly, you just highlighted it. I think we all agree that hearing from our friends and our associates and other musicians and getting positive feedback for our music is probably one of the main reasons why most of us came on here, and I like it too, but I just think it's important for us to maybe shift it to the chat and shift it to the YouTube videos, only because it'll allow us to listen to all of the music, and we can still get that. We can
without
still
getting tired,
without it getting so tired, and giving Remy his life back, and and it just maybe being a tighter format. I mean, honestly, listening to the music is great. People are really.
But like you said, I think you do reach a certain amount of fatigue by the third hour, and it's not fair for the people at the end, because everyone's kind of just staying on just because they want to be nice. But it's it's. For me, it's an afternoon. Other people have to actually stay up through the night and try not to sleep in order to just be nice to others. And it's kind of, that's not really the reason. We need to find another way, but we'll continue discussing it. And until that point, I'll start playing the last group of videos, of which there are 13. So we've probably got another half an hour of music still to come. And then we'll have a final little wrap up at the end before we'll say
talk
goodbye.
We'll talk about the theme and say goodbye.
Yeah, we'll talk about the theme when we get back. So let's see. I haven't actually come prepared to this. Let me just. That was all I did all the word stuff quite smoothly, but the actual being ready to play the next track didn't quite happen. So next up, we've got Yellow Beats.
Awesome. Let's go. And we wait.
In very much the same sense, the word nature and the word techno is for me the same word, except it's past or future. And I have explained this to my friends by saying, if you see a house in the mountains, a little cozy house, if the monkeys would look at this house, they would say it was techno, it was it's not a question if it's man-made or not man-made. But it's more a question of if you locate yourself in the right point between nature and techno, you are in now, and it's a very, it changes every day, and you have to be part of both. You can't just be only techno, and you can't be only nature. You have to be right in the middle. Very important.
About the koalas. In fact, if you saw me, you'd say something. Koalas. Where did they get all the Now I like koalas as much as the next man. Deserves to die.
Let's try this again. Hi there, my name is Ryan, aka Hussa, or DJ Hussa to some. I've heard your incredible music on YouTube and Instagram and thought I'd reach out to say what a great sound you have. Mad flavor, possibly, but thought maybe we could do something together. Just a thought. Thank you for your time, Mr. Zero.
I'm so sorry to hear about your koalas.
Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Hi there, my name is Ryan. Hi there, my name is Ryan. Hussa. Hi there, my name is Ryan. Hussa. AKA Hussa, or DJ Hussa to some. Mr. Zero.
something. I'm so something. I'm so sorry.
Tu as volé mes moustiques. Tu as volé mes moustiques.
Check, Fisch in der Schrippe, Asi-Möwe, riskiert ne dicke Lippe. All der Spaß, den wir hatten, beendet durch unhöfliche Störung von Luftratten. Wollt nur Strand, Sonne, Wellen, keine Vögel, die hier bellen. Hab nur kurz Discord gecheckt, Geiersturz, Flugfisch, Brötchen weg.
Fuck you, seagull. That's my fish roll. Fuck you, seagull. That's my fish roll. That's my fish roll. That's my fish roll.
Welcome back. Yeah, Maxim, I do have a track from you. I thought I downloaded it and I don't see it anymore, so I'm going to have to re-download it, which means we have to talk while I do it, just in case the stream goes down. I can't do it while... you're muted, Gerber. I've unmuted you. Just wait. You're all right now. Yeah, it was a collab with Sense Beats, and I did get it, and I'm sure I downloaded it. But anyway,
nice way to ruin the surprise there, Danny.
Sorry. Yeah, well, it's worth waiting for.
Totally. Is it the last track?
It will be, yeah.
Awesome. That Seagull track was phenomenal, and I wonder if it's somebody in our group again. I'm back to that. I just assume that any new user is somebody from our group. But it was really, really good. There's been a lot of really good first-time people contributing this week. This was a pretty spectacular week. I could totally see a lot of the new members like elevating us to new heights because they really created some special tracks this week. And some of the people who've been on the Discord regularly, are finally made it on and contributed, which was awesome. It's always great to hear what somebody's artistic style is like. You talk to somebody, you become friends with them, but you're always curious, like, what are they making and what interests them and what's their aesthetic. So very cool to finally get to hear some of the work they're making. You want me to keep filling here?
Yeah, I missed the beginning of what you were saying, but
just saying a bunch of great first time contributions this week. This week was actually noteworthy, really, I think, because there were a lot of them, and then the ones that appeared were actually really spectacular. So just some great stuff.
And it's something you said about using sample packs that we make ourselves. There's something special about that, I think. Did I get dropped off again, or am I here and everyone else has dropped off? Am I here? Has Michael dropped off? Am I still here? Someone send me a message if I'm still here. I'm there. Okay, thanks. But Michael's dropped off. So let's give him a chance to come back. I'll go to the Maxim Robin track. I think it's the last one. Let me know if I've missed anyone else, and I'll try. And Gerber's probably... Are any of us here, really? No, that's a very good point. We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes. We'll be back just to tie up some loose ends after this track from Sense Beats and Bobby Snacks. Sorry.
Awesome.
And there we have it.
That was
I think
incredible.
Yeah, that was awesome. And a real chill one for the ending of the show.
So I missed what you said. You were talking about the sample packs helping.
Yeah. Well, everyone else heard me, so there's no point repeating myself. But I do think it's cool. I like the sample pack thing where people. It's just it came. I didn't say this before, but it came kind of out of nowhere last week. Even though I know that Remy has said ages ago that last week of every month is a sample pack week.
Yeah.
We really should just open a folder and have some collection of sample pack
material
that's
throughout
true. The month.
I'll open up the folder and I'll promote it on the Discord. You know, maybe not that many people will upload, but at least we'll have something there, so it'll be good. I just wanted to point out, like Maxime made a good point. He said, you know, if we were to do sample packs every week, it would probably get a little stale. So I do totally understand that. So like,
I think, but Remy has said like last week of every month is going to be a sample pack for the foreseeable future. I think that's 1 out of 4 is not too much. And although I didn't do a personal solo track this week, I do usually find it's just I've been busy with work, more busy than I have been in a long time in the last couple of weeks. Usually I find the sample pack collections a lot more inspiring, I think, for me personally, just to be able to just take any snippet and use it as an instrument and whatever, and not have to think too much about how am I going to deconstruct this track or whatever. So, but that's just the way I
You
think.
see the comment?
Getting an A in live stream hosts. Oh,
nice, Danny.
I actually I had to kind of reread that, and I thought, oh no, there's something going wrong, and there's an A somewhere on the screen.
All right, so we should talk about the theme.
Yes, let's talk about the theme briefly. Rushi is very kindly stayed up. It's like after 3 a.m. So I think we had a thing on the Discord and looked for.
Oh wait, you missed
theme.
You missed Rushi's track.
Oh really? Oh shit, I did. Hang on a minute. Right,
we're gonna hit
is that another one that got lost? Hang on, sorry. Thank you. See, it's good that you were here. Right, hang on. I will play Rushi, but why don't you tell them about the track, the theme, while I try and dig that out?
I don't.
Sorry, it's been a bit of a mess today.
Is the theme? I assumed the theme was going to be.
I think it's
Japanese Edo something.
Edo period Japanese music, so traditional folk music from the Edo period of Japan, which I don't know. I mean, so.
Isn't that like a
let's
really
make
long
it clear,
time ago, like 1800s or some shit like that?
Possibly even longer than that. It might even. I've got no idea when it is. It might even be AD for all I know. But you're not trying to recreate a genre as we've discussed at length. I think if you really want to, you can. There's nothing stopping you. But use the instruments from recordings that you might find of that. So at worst, just Google it. Google or YouTube
from that time period. I did exactly that because I was like, ew, this is the worst idea ever. And then I Googled, I went to YouTube and I typed in whatever Japanese music from the Edo period. Yeah. And the first sample I hit, I was like, oh, this is quite good. This is good.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't listened to any of it, but I imagine it's like
so much hip hop uses that sort of
like strings and harps and like stringed instruments and stuff.
It's
so
I'm
great. Sure it's cool. So Rushi, what is the? Let me just. Sorry, I'm just gonna search and I might have to re-download it again. Sorry, I did download it because you sent 2, and I downloaded the second one, and I even confirmed that I downloaded it. But sorry, you speak for a minute.
Oh,
it's called this one.
I'm typing to Mark, who's giving me a hard time because my tracks are too long.
Oh well, now's not the time for that. Let me see. Do I have one called this one? This one. Right, I'm just gonna download it again. If I drop off, do fill in the dead air rather than just.
Oh, sure. I have no idea what I'll write about, but I'll talk about. But sure, it's 5:17.
You'll think of something. One thing we can be sure of is that you won't run out of things to say.
Soviet Dylan said it's 5:17 in the morning. Can you please play Rishi's track so I can go to bed?
Yeah, I can. Give me a minute. Oh, it's downloading super fast, and
Awesome.
I don't think I'm gonna drop off. Okay,
Nice.
it's ready to go. Right, so let me line it up, and I'll put it on right now. Right, okay. All right, let's go, and then we'll come back for a minute after that.
All right. Awesome.
Wow.
Really good.
Yeah.
I remember seeing
So-
Opal Rock.
Yeah, I saw an email from him and there was no attachment. I did reply to him and say, could you resend it? And I don't think he did. So let me double check. I don't think so. Yeah, I did 3 hours ago. He sent it 5 hours ago. I sent 3 hours ago a message saying, file not attached, please resend. He didn't. So if he gets it to us before Remy puts together the big pack, then he'll be on that. That was really cool. We probably shouldn't sit here going on about how good Rushi is when everyone else has just played and moved on.
That's what I was saying. It's a little weird to cherry pick.
Yeah. If you want to be talked about, you have to be forgotten until the very end of the show, and then you get played one at a time.
It was incredible. But overall, this really was a spectacular week of music, I have to say. I think there was something about the variety of samples. And even with the variety of samples, there was enough flow between song to song that it really still did feel like we were flipping the same thing. You know, the themes were appearing throughout different songs. And so it really tied everything together. I still think that worked. Because I do think that's the argument people make for using a sample, right? A song is because we're all flipping the same song. But
yeah,
the sample pack actually still works, even with, we had a ton of samples in there too, right?
Yeah, there was
It worked.
like a couple of banks.
Wait, Opal
and
is
the thing
on
is,
the chat. I'll be back next week, y'all. So he's on. I'm so confused.
Who? What? Hey,
Opal is on the chat, but he said I'll
Is
be
he?
back next week.
oh, here he is.
But-
Opal, he's here. He's just sent a message.
I'll try.
You didn't.
that
I
out
don't
of
think you
her.
said. Did he say anything about why?
He said he just got out of work. I don't know. I mean,
he had to go to work. Okay.
Maybe he can forward from his phone. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky now because we're kind of signing off. But if you can get it to us in the next 30 seconds, we'll try and download and play it. Otherwise, do send it anyway, though, because
definitely send it because it's going to get added to the YouTube.
it will get added to the YouTube video, and we'll try and delay Remy doing that until we have your submission. So don't worry.
I feel bad too because Opal's been so busy he hasn't been able to contribute a song in quite some time.
Yeah. Something went wrong, unfortunately, and the email was empty. So, but if Remy waits until tomorrow, that should give Opal enough time to finish his day's work and get the file resent. So, yeah. Thank you, Grim, for joining us and having a chat earlier. Thank you, Michael, for staying with me all this time, and I noticed that, I don't know if it was intentional, but like you started changing messages on the beat, which I thought was a nice touch.
I'm a little embarrassed to say, but my son and his friend walked in the house, and I actually hit mute on the stream because I had to talk to them, and so I felt bad. So I'm having a conversation with them as I'm literally just going down the line, hitting submit.
Okay, but it was changing on the beat somehow magically, which was an extra add-on. Yeah. So thank you all for staying up and joining us. We've got 24 still. I think we peaked at almost 40 people tonight, and we managed to pack it in under 3 hours. This was never. It would have been way over 4 hours probably if we had chatted after each thing. So, if you have an opinion about what we're going to do, what we should do, what everyone should do, what we all as a collective should do, come to the Discord and discuss it with us, and we'll try and move it forward in a way that makes everyone happy.
I mean, and this is a great opportunity to plug the Discord. I mean, we want your feedback. We want people, we want listeners and artists, musicians to join the Discord and get involved in the community. And we don't make decisions. People maybe are misguided and think the admins and Remy just make the decisions, but we really try our hardest to be extremely inclusive. And really, if you're unhappy with something, I encourage you to come on, give us your opinion, try to get some people to back your idea and post about it, and we'll have conversations about it, and we will try our best to find a solution that works for the maximum number of people. I mean, that's
it's like Michael keeps saying all around the place, is this community isn't just Remy organizing it or just like the admins organizing it. It's like we're kind of like a little committee that are helping making things happen, and all the work Rushi's putting in to try and organize more content. But it's not the community isn't a thing that we're in control of. It's a thing that we should all be a part of. So come to the Discord and take part in all the decision making, because we don't know what we're doing really. We're just flapping about like we were at the beginning, trying to get this thing to work. So anyway, on that note, thanks very much. We're still under 3 hours. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Michael, for your help, and we'll see you on the Discord, hopefully, everybody.
Thanks, Danny, for downloading everything and streaming it all. And
it's all
putting
good.
up with all the snarky comments when the stream went bad and stuff like that. So appreciate that you're thick skin and positive attitude. So thank you.
It's all good, man. All right. Cool. Take care, everyone. See you later.